So this is Algebra Chapter 3.4. We're still working with inequalities, but we're doing inequalities that contain more than one operation. It's going to take at least 2 steps to solve some of these. So here's our first example. What I'm looking at here is that I see that the 61 and the 45, those are like terms, but they're on opposite sides of the inequality. So they're going to have to be combined. And then we also have a plus 2b. We need to get, just to find out what 1b equals. So that's going to be our 2 steps, is to get the 45 over and then get rid of the 2. So starting off, I'm just going to rewrite my question. I'm going to do the inverse operation to bring the 45 over to the other side. So I'm going to subtract 45 on both sides. These will cancel out, and I'm left with a plus 2b is greater than, and when you subtract, you should get 16. So 2 times something is greater than 16. So to undo that, we have to do the inverse operation. Divide by 2, divide by 2. These will cancel out, and we'll be left with just b. 1b is greater than 8. Okay, let's look at another one. Very similar to the first. So 8 minus 3y is greater than equal to 29. Okay, you should notice that the 29 and the 8 are like terms, so they need to be combined. We'll do that by subtracting 8 on both sides. These will cancel out. I'm left with minus 3y, or negative 3y, is greater than or equal to 21. You'll notice that you have to divide both sides by negative 3. Divide by negative 3, and we're left with y. And on this side, we're left with negative 7. And we have to go back and think about, okay, what is the rule for keeping the sign the same or changing the sign? Since we divided both sides by negative, that's going to make us reverse our sign. So our sign is going to get flipped. So we're left with y is less than or equal to negative 7. Don't forget, the rule is if you divide both sides by a negative, or you multiply both sides by a negative, you need to reverse your sign, reverse the inequality. Okay, let's skip down to this one here because it's really interesting. So when you look at this, the first thing that kind of bothers me about it, or the first thing that I would want to do, is get rid of that denominator. Get rid of the fraction part of it. So we have x plus 5 divided by negative 2 is greater than 3. Okay, and so you should have heard me say divide by negative 2. So how can we get rid of divide by negative 2? And you should have said that we need to multiply by negative 2. Multiply by negative 2. We did that, so these 2's will cancel out. So right now we're left with x plus 5. And over here, 3 times negative 2 gives me negative 6. From the last slide, you should have heard what we were going to do with the sign. Because we multiply both sides by a negative, it's going to make us reverse our symbol, reverse the sign. Okay, one more step to solve this. We need to subtract both sides by 5. And these will cancel out. So I'm left with x is less than negative 11. Okay, let's do one more. Okay, very similar. Get rid of this the division of the denominator. So 1 minus 2n divided by 3 is greater than or equal to 7. Get rid of the fraction part of it first. So we're going to multiply both sides by 3. We did that, so these 3's will cancel out. 1 minus 2n is greater than or equal to 21. Going to get rid of this 1 by subtracting 1 on both sides. Those will cancel out. We're left with negative 2n is greater than or equal to 20. I really hope at this point you're looking ahead and saying, wait a minute, what are we going to do? We have a negative here. And in fact, we're going to have to divide both sides by negative 2. Okay, we're left with n, and we're left with a negative 10. And you should know already that we need to reverse our sign because we divided both sides by a negative.